Hello, welcome to my first vlog. My name is Natalie, and today I'm going to be talking about all things Arizona, moving out here, what it's been like, the dislikes, just everything Arizona. So first, a little bit about my background. I'm from Illinois, moved to Arizona roughly 4 months ago, roughly 4 months ago. I'm a divorced single mom of one, so I have a 5-year-old daughter, so her and I moved out here. Now, I want to say what brought on this move. About 2 years ago, I was just in my mind a lot and just kind of thinking like what I wanted to become in my life, where I wanted to go, and I always wanted to be a homeowner, and I was really in my mind about, you know, if I wanted to purchase in Illinois or somewhere else. So I did think about the possibility of moving out of state, and but fear kind of got in the way, and it just got in the way, and I guess I just kind of, it was a thought that never left my mind, if that makes sense. But then life continues on. I will say I did try to buy a home in Illinois, and I felt like every time I tried to do it, something happened. When I was married, I ended up getting divorced, so that didn't work out. And then actually last year I was engaged, or last year I called off an engagement. I just felt like I wasn't being fulfilled. I just felt like it wasn't the right thing to do. Best decision ever was calling it off. I just wasn't really happy, you know, and I just felt like I didn't want anyone holding me back. I knew I wanted to do some things, and I didn't want anything to hold me back. So once I got out of that and everything, I really started thinking a lot. And I was like, I'm at the age, like I really want to try to, you know, maybe move somewhere, see how I felt about it, and then try to buy a house. So first I thought Utah. I was thinking Utah, and I kind of did my research out there, and then I remember having conversations with friends about them possibly moving to Arizona, and I always thought like, I don't know, like snakes and things, like I don't think I want to move to Arizona. So first I did kind of rule it out, and I was strongly considering Utah. So again, I was doing my research and everything, and met a couple of people, and then I was like, I don't really know. So then I definitely prayed about it. I'm big on prayer, and I was like, Lord, guide me, basically, where should I go, you know, is this the right thing to do? And Arizona came back in my mind, like it came back around, and I knew people out here, so I was like, something about Arizona. So praying and getting confirmation, that kind of was the first step. I did tell like my family and my friends. I don't really think anyone believed me. I guess they just probably thought I was just talking. So once I got the confirmation, I really started to do my research on Arizona, and I kind of liked everything that I got. And then it was the thing of, you know, I work from home, so the big thing was, will I be able to work in the States? So I definitely had to get confirmation from my job to be able to do that. Sidebar, I was thinking about moving to Las Vegas, and I may share a story time about that at a later date, but no Vegas. I personally would never want to move to Vegas, but it was something with my job tied into that. But no, Arizona it was. I didn't want anything to knock me off of my plans to move out here. So I was thinking, what city in Arizona? Arizona is huge, you know, so what city would I want to move to? So then Scottsdale came in my mind, and I started looking into Scottsdale, and I was like, this is where I need to be. So did my research about around the area, looked into some apartment complexes, found one that I really liked, and then did the application process, got approved, uploading all my information, and then I'm like, okay, got my move-in date, and I'm like, okay, this is real, this is really a thing. So then I told my family and my friends, like, yes, it's really happening. Ava's my daughter, Ava and I were really moving. So I started to get everything transferred over, and essentially I was going to get my car transported, and my daughter and I were going to fly. Had everything booked, everything ready to go. The day they were set to, I wanted them to pick it up a few days prior to us leaving so my car could get there in time, but they ended up coming the day prior. So what I did, or was it the day prior? Yeah, it was the day prior. So I don't know, something felt weird with the company, and I let them take my car, and I instantly, as soon as they left, I was like, something didn't seem right. Like, I don't trust these guys with my car. So I actually made them bring the car back. They were very upset about it. I didn't care. It's my car at the end of the day, and if I don't feel right, then I'm a bit of a control freak. If something doesn't feel right, I just have to take over. So I ended up driving me and my daughter the next morning. So I got probably like 5 hours of sleep. So I just woke up and I was just ready to go. You know, everything was packed up already, and we started the drive. Smooth drive, followed 26.5-hour drive. Ended up stopping overnight in Kansas. Had a hiccup in Kansas, a traumatic experience for me, and I may share a story time about that in the near future. But other than that, the ride back was to Arizona was pretty good. The scenery, it was beautiful in Colorado and New Mexico, and then when we got to Arizona, it was something that I've never experienced before, because I had honestly never been to the West Coast. So just seeing all the beautiful scenery, the mountains and everything, and I even tell my family back home who hasn't been out this way, it's something you literally have to experience in person. Like, I could take a million pictures, but it won't be the same until you're actually out here. So the drive itself was a smooth drive. It wasn't hard. If I ever had to do it again, I just probably wouldn't stop. I would probably, because I didn't need to stop. My grandmother just was nervous for me to drive the whole ride there without getting any sleep. I wasn't tired at all. So if I ever did the drive again, I would probably just do it like the whole way through, or I definitely would not stop in Kansas. I would stop in another state. So okay, let's talk about the weather. Let's talk about the weather. So I've heard a lot of horror stories about the weather out here, and mind you, we came here in June. We came here in the beginning of the summer, the start of the summer. And also I believe it was the start of monsoon season. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So we came like right smack dab in the middle of the heat wave. So for me personally, living in Illinois and experiencing 4 seasons and being cold, you know, I definitely wanted to move somewhere where it was a warmer climate. And I could say, is it hot out here? Absolutely. Is it insanely hot out here? It's pretty hot, but it's not as bad as what I've heard. Granted, if you're sitting outside all day in the sun, it might be bad, you know, but if you just like, some people, I've heard crazy stories, like some people are like, oh, you can't, we don't want to go out shopping or something until it cools down, or get our shopping done in the morning. If I want to go to Target at 3 o'clock, I'm gonna go to Target at 3 o'clock. I have air in my car. It gets cold right away, so I don't, you know, it hasn't been as bad as the stories that I've heard. I'll just say that. But is it hot? Absolutely. One of the major things that I noticed is that when we went out on our balcony, it'd be 9 o'clock. Normally in Illinois, it would have cooled down by then. Out here, nah, it's still hot. So that's kind of a difference, but not anything that's like too crazy, too bizarre, but it is hot. So that's that. And I know some people, I've heard stories about coming out here. It has improved some people's breathing, maybe some people with asthma, maybe it's gotten better. And I've heard stories where people's asthma's got worse. I don't have asthma, my daughter doesn't have asthma, but one thing I can say is that I feel like I breathe better out here for some reason. Like around this time, like my mom, I talked to her on the phone and she's going through the motions of the weather changing and getting sick, whereas we're not sick at all. And my daughter normally gets a cold like at least, I want to say like 3 times a year, and since moving she hasn't gotten a cold. I haven't gotten a cold, so, and that's by the grace of God. And so I definitely feel like we breathe better out here. But again, I don't know anyone's situation, you know, it might be better, it might be worse, not sure. So that's that. And let's talk about the prices out here. One thing that really stuck out to me is when I did apply for our apartment. I'm used to being back home. I'm used to the rent itself being a set price, and then you throw in the utilities and all that. Out here, you get the rent, you get the utilities, and then you get tax. They tax you on the rent, which I wasn't used to that. So I was like, okay, so now I see all these charges, taxes and tax this and tax there. And mind you, Illinois is a tax state, and you know, their taxes are a little bizarre. But out here, taxing on the rent, I kind of thought that was different. So that's one of the major things I've noticed as far as the rent. And then and also the rent is high. We're in North Scottsdale, so the rent is pretty pricey, whereas back home, I stayed in like a luxury, it was like a loft slash studio type ordeal, kind of like a townhouse feel to it, and that was a luxury apartment. And this is a luxury apartment as well, and this is a bigger space, and it's not a studio, but still it's pricey. I would just say that all in all, it's pricey out here compared to back home. So yeah, that is that. And then as far as like places like Target, Walmart, Home Goods, all of that, I would honestly say the prices are about the same. I haven't really noticed a difference. Just the apartment was more. The apartments are more out here. And I did notice too, a lot of them, there's parking garages. That's something I wasn't used to back home. My park was like right in front of my place, so that's a little bit of a difference I noticed. Out here they have a lot of parking garages, whereas back home that's not really a thing, or at least in the area where we lived in Illinois, that wasn't really a thing. So not too bad. You know, just a minor adjustment. What else did I notice? Yeah, pricing hasn't been, other than that, hasn't been too crazy. Oh, I do want to mention driving out here. And we went through Iowa, we went through Nebraska, we went through Kansas, Colorado, New Mexico, and the gas prices were cheap. And at that time when we were coming out here, that's when inflation had like risen and the prices were outrageously high. But the gas itself, I thought I was preparing myself to spend like possibly $500 in gas. I didn't know, but I probably spent about $200, maybe $230 max. So that was like, okay, so the gas actually wasn't that high when I got out to Arizona as well, when we got out to Arizona. So that's that. What's another thing? I want to talk about the wildlife. In my mind, I was thinking, oh my God, it's gonna be a snake here, a snake there, a freaking coyote, like this and that. I haven't seen, I seen 2 bucks. I seen 2 bucks. That's it. And me and my daughter got bit by a couple of mosquitoes when we first got here. But that's really it. I know sometimes, even in apartment complexes, there's like spiders, and you know, maybe I've heard they had scorpions out here and all type of stuff. But honestly, I could say so far, I mean, we're only 4 months in, I haven't seen anything too crazy. I do know there's coyotes. I've heard about the coyotes, but we had coyotes back home. I haven't seen one out here yet, but I've seen it back home, and I've heard about that, but I haven't seen any so far. and I am on the crime app. So I have saw like notifications about snake removals in people's homes and stuff. So I'm like, ugh, you know, but I'm in an apartment complex, so I don't know. But I haven't seen one yet. Knock on wood. And let's talk about dating. Dating out here, I have nothing. I don't really have much to say. I'm not looking for anyone. You know, I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my love life off of here. So I don't know. I don't know as far as dating. I've been flirted with a time or two so far. Again, it's only 4 months in, but I'm just gonna skate past the yeah. I don't know. So I'm sorry, I can't help you if you came here looking for like dating out here. I can't help, sorry. Okay, let's talk about friends. I don't really put myself out there. I'm not really big on, like, I'm not, like, I don't really put myself out there when it comes to friends. I did make a post, and but I'm not gonna like do too much. Like, I did do a post, and what I've gathered with the friends out here is the word fickle. I'll just say that, fickle. And with me, you got like one time, and I nip it straight in the bud. I don't, you know, that's it for me. And back home, I have more guy friends. I for some reason I connect better with guys, so I never really had a whole bunch of girlfriends around, but it would be nice, and I do have, it would be nice to have like a couple of girlfriends, you know, here and there, but I'm not forcing anything. Like, I'm rather content in my life. I don't, you know, I kind of feel like I have my set of friends, but I'm not closed off. Like, I'm not receptive of it. It's just what I've noticed so far is that people are very fickle. I don't know if they're just in their own world, which I am too. I'm more introverted, so I don't know if that's what it is, or maybe I don't know. But I think I'm good at friends. I think I'm good. So yeah, fickle would be the word I would say. Now let's talk about the people out here. One thing I have noticed is that the people are very nice, and I was really fearful coming out here because my daughter is very friendly. You know, she may even come up to you and hug you, and I didn't know how that would be received. So that kind of did worry me a little bit, just her getting possible rejection from people that may not have been used to that. So people have been very nice, you know, very, very nice, very kind. And back home, there's been a lot of rudeness. So coming out here, it's kind of like you're like, whoa, like this is okay. And I feel like for the most part, everybody just minds their own business, or they just, you know, they just kind of tend to themselves, but very nice nonetheless. Very nice. I even had people stop and have conversations with my daughter, so it's the sweetest thing. It means the world to me. It just warms my heart. So yeah, I can say people are rather nicer out here. Now I do want to talk about the drivers, because that's another thing. I've heard so much about that. And the drivers, I've heard a lot of horror stories, and on the crime map I do see a lot of accidents. Me personally, I haven't seen it with my eyes. I'm not a big highway driver. Like, if I don't need to get on the highway, 9 times out of 10 I'm not going to. So I haven't noticed bad driving so much. I haven't noticed any. I feel like people drove crazier back home. That's honestly how I feel. So I don't know if you're on the highway a lot. I'm not sure, because I'm not on there, but just the main roads that I've seen out, you know, and mostly I've been in Scottsdale, I've been in Tempe, I've been in Chandler a little bit, I've been in Glendale before. Those are the only cities I've really, oh, and coming in here, I've been coming to Arizona. I was in Mesa. Hopefully I'm saying that right. So I've been around, like coming out here, I've been to a few cities I might not even remember, but just from where I've been so far. Oh, and I've been to Gilbert as well. And I hadn't noticed anything crazy. So I don't know, people seem to drive normal. I don't know, but again, if you're on the highway and you're looking for a review for that I can't help you. The 1 or 2 times I was on the highway, I didn't notice anything too crazy. But again, in Illinois, I feel like people drive crazier out there, so I don't know. But now the last thing I want to talk about is when you decide that you're gonna move, and you know, you decide you want to maybe move out of state. There may be people who don't like that, you know. There may be people who aren't so receptive of it, you know. There may be people that try to speak fear into your plans. They don't want that for you, you know. And I don't know if it's coming from a place of hatred. I don't know if it's coming from a good place. I don't know. But one thing I will say is that always pray about it to your God, pray about it, and you know, get that confirmation. And once you've got the confirmation, keep going on your path. Don't look back, you know, regardless of what someone else has to say. It is your life, and you have to do what's best for you, and you have to follow your path. So if you do get naysayers, I would just, as long as God gave you that confirmation and you got the thumbs up, go about your path, you know. And God is the one that we worship, no one else. So if you're into that, or if you feel in your heart it's right for you to do, then you do that. And regardless of what anyone else has to say, it is your decision to go, you know. And if you feel you need to wait, or if God says wait, then you wait, you know. So at the end of the day, I just want to say, do what's best for you. And I mean, you could hear out people's opinions and everything, but it's not their life, it is yours. So if all the check marks that you set, check off the check marks and everything looks good, then keep going, you know. And don't let fear get in the way of your plans. So I'm gonna leave this video right there, and if I've missed something, or if there's something else you want to know, just comment, let me know, or any other videos you want to see. I definitely want to do more lifestyle videos. I am getting a hair transplant. Actually, I'm getting my 2nd hair transplant, so I'm definitely going to do a video about that, like probably like a part 1 and a part 2 on that. And yeah, I'm gonna end it now. So have a great day, and like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And thank you. Bye, God bless. I'm wondering if I did my lipstick too dark. Really going for a new look, of course, but where I want it to go. So I was thinking, wait, I gotta back that up. I didn't mean to say that. Hello, welcome to my vlog. My name is Natalie, and I'm gonna be talking. I already messed up. Ooh, this fan is gonna mess up with my I'm gonna really get a lot.